headlines.
Gas distribution to end from today. Distribution to resume on Monday. Shooting in Alutgama. 1 person dead. 120,000 Sri Lankans migrate. Police say 4 killed in Oklahoma in new US gun rampage.
Now on to your top story this afternoon. Former Minister Basil Rajapaksa and Thirkumar Nadesan have been acquitted and released from the Malvana mansion case. We will have more of these stories on our Newsfirst website and social media platforms. Hatton police were able to rescue a mother of 2 who was swept away by currents in Dikkoya, Hatton this morning. Our correspondent said that a mother of 2 was caught in the floods while crossing Dikkoya to visit her son's home in the Vanaraja estate. Meanwhile, Badegama, Udugama and Agaliya roads are still inundated due to the rising water levels of the Gingaga. Vehicular movement was also disrupted due to floods on the Badegama-Dodangwada road. Low-lying areas of Kolma-Pelagama, including by-roads, were inundated. Our cameras captured the footage of an area inundated along the Gol-Naguda road. Several houses in Dampalla in Kadduwa Matara are flooded up to 2 feet. Our correspondent noted that water levels were receding from low-lying areas. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western, Sabragamur, northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara Galle and Matara districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 mm can be expected at some places in western, Sabragamur province and in Kandy, Nuwara Galle and Matara districts. Strong winds about 40 km per hour can be expected at times in northern, north-central provinces and in Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. The distribution of LP gas will be halted island-wide today. Distribution will resume on Monday.
Litro Gas Company Limited informed that only 16,000 domestic gas cylinders can be released to the market. It further noted that the distribution of domestic gas cylinders will recommence after unloading the shipment of 2,500 metric tons of gas on Sunday. A tense situation was reported at a gas queue in Jubilee Mawatha, Mattakkuliya. The situation erupted when the general public started accusing that gas cylinders are distributed with political interference.
numbers බෙදලා තියෙනවා. මෙතන එතකොට හැමදාම ඇවිල්ලා හිටියා ඊට මොකද වෙන්නේ? අපි පාන්දර ඉඳන් ඇවිල්ලා දුක් විඳින්නේ. පොඩි ළමයි ඉන්නවා ගෙවල් වල.
People of Badegama have been staying in queues to purchase gas cylinders since last evening. Gas distribution commenced around 8:30 this morning. However, the available stocks did not meet the demand. Although people stood in queues for a long period of time at a gas distribution centre in Badulla, they had to return home empty-handed after police informed that gas cylinders will not be issued today. People from Kurunegala had to have their breakfast at a gas queue. This group had been staying in a queue for a long period of time with the expectation of purchasing a gas cylinder.
මම නම් පාන්දර 3ට විතර තමයි ආවේ. ඉතින් දුකයි මේ රටේ වෙලා තියෙන තත්ත්වය ගැන. කතා කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ. ඉතින් අපිට ලේකා කියනවා.
Up next is Crime Watch.
Crime Watch.
A shooting was reported in Morogalla in Alutgama. The victim was shot while he was loading a stock of king coconut to a lorry. The victim was a resident of Paranakade in Beruwala, aged 43. Aludgama police have commenced investigations to arrest the suspects in connection with the incident.
Crime Watch.
Police has arrested a 27-year-old suspect in Grand Pass with 3.5 kilograms of heroin in his possession. Meanwhile, another suspect was arrested in Castle Street, Borella. Police had seized 796 grams of Kerala ganja, 54 grams and 51 milligrams of the drug known as ice that were in his possession. The suspect was a 30-year-old resident in Borella. A meeting is to be held today between the political parties and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe regarding the changes to be made to the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. A discussion on the amendment bill is scheduled to be held today with Muslim religious leaders, including the Jamiatul Ulama. A discussion on the 21st Amendment bill was held this morning with political parties not represented in Parliament. The Minister of Justice, Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, stated that the 21st Amendment to the Constitution will be presented to the Cabinet for approval next Monday. Leader of the Janasita Peramuna, Venerable Batramulle Seelaratna Thero, says those who looted public funds must be brought before the law.
The current government did not provide any relief to the people to get by. Who stole the US dollars in the country? Why aren't those individuals being arrested? What happened to that money? We request the Honorable Court to enact a law against them and punish them, arrest the thieves and bring the dollars back to the country.
American dollar tika Lanka ගෙනපල්ලා.
Gammadda is a movement that is changing lives across Sri Lanka together with the people. People in Ihaladikkala Mathale who have been earning a living through farming drink contaminated water. Their requests to obtain clean drinking water for the village went unheard. The contaminated water has led to many people being diagnosed with kidney ailments. From today, the Ihaladikkala village in Mathale will get clean drinking water after years of suffering. Gammadda declared open an RO water purification plant for over 300 families residing in this village.
I'm joining you from Ihaladikkala, a small town here in Mathale, a town with over 300 families living here without the access to clean drinking water. And what you can see behind me is the RO water purification plant Gammadda has built for the people of this village with the expertise of the Sri Lanka Navy and the guidance of the Sri Lanka Ministry of Health, with the aid of Mr. and Mrs. Kumar Pereira residing in Colombo, who has donated the money and the funds for this project for Gammadda and for the people of this village. Newsfirst will bring you the latest updates as the day goes on. Annisal Suryarachi reporting for Newsfirst.
A new phase of the Divisavya program to distribute dry rations among families in need was held in the Gampaha district today. The program is sponsored by LOLC Holdings. The Divisavya program, sponsored by LOLC Holdings, entered its 24th day today. Two teams distributed dry rations among many Gram Nildari divisions in the Gampaha district. The Divisavya program aims at supporting low-income families amidst the economic crisis. The 3 Bengal tiger cubs that were born in the Dehiwala Zoo was available for public viewing for yesterday.
The 2 tigers, namely Robin and Killer, that were brought to the country from China in the year of 2009 under an animal exchange program are the parents of the newly born tiger cubs. The Department of National Zoological Gardens has decided to allow the public to name the 3 cubs. Accordingly, if any member of the public is willing to suggest a name, they can forward their ideas to zoosl@slt.lk or write to Department of National Zoological Gardens, Anagarika Dharmapala Mawatha, Devala.
The National Trade Union Centre states that it will resort to a trade union action again.
Now Ranil Wickremesinghe has come and implemented a new tax rate on people to solve the crisis. These are because of the mistakes made by Gotabaya Rajapaksa. They have made the people travel by foot or leave their jobs. They are now compelled to stay in homes. They would sell the whole country in 2-3 days and will tell the people that the country is sold, but we are not ready to experience that. Accordingly, we as Trade Union Coordination Committee decided to launch a trade union action from the 15th to force Gota Ranil government to go home.
නැවත වතාවක් මිනිසුන්ට පීඩාව දෙන්න ලෑස්ති වෙන්න එපා. ඉවසලා බැරිම තැන දැන් මිනිස්සු ඉන්නේ.
A shooter wounded multiple people during a funeral in the US state of Wisconsin yesterday.
The Racine Police Department said on Twitter, quote, at 2:26 p.m. there were multiple shots fired at Graceland Cemetery. There are victims but unknown how many at this time. The scene is still active and being investigated, end quote. Local media reported that 5 people were wounded at the funeral, which was for Deshaunte Luther King Sr., a man who was killed by police in March. Gun violence plagued America is reeling from 2 devastating mass shootings last month, one at Texas Elementary School that killed 21 people and another at a New York State supermarket that left 10 dead.
President Joe Biden has delivered an impassioned plea to Congress to act on gun control. In an address to the nation last night, he called on lawmakers to restore limits on the sale of assault-style weapons and high-capacity magazines after a string of mass shootings in the country. Speaking at the White House, Biden acknowledged the stiff political headwinds as he sought to drive pressure on Congress to pass stricter gun limits after such efforts failed following past attacks. He said if Congress won't embrace all of its proposals, they must at least find compromise on other measures like limiting access to firearms to those with mental health issues or raising age to buy assault-style weapons from 18 to 21.
We visited Uvalde, Texas. In front of Robb Elementary School, we stood before 21 crosses for 19 third and fourth graders and 2 teachers. On each cross, a name, and nearby, a photo of each victim that Jill and I reached out to touch. Innocent victims murdered in a classroom that have been turned into a killing field. Standing there in that small town, like so many other communities across America, I couldn't help but think there are too many other schools, too many other everyday places that have become killing fields, battlefields here in America.
Boston Celtics pulled off a stunning fourth-quarter comeback to the Golden State Warriors, 120-108 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals today.
It looked like a
And that's a wrap of lunchtime news here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I am Irfan. Thank you for watching.